Tonight at 6, a symbol of freedom and strength across the country, rescued right here in West Texas. The American dream starts with just that, a dream. The path to citizenship is a hard one, but beyond worth it in the end. And is Texas back? And just how long before the question pops now that former #1 recruit in the country takes center as a Longhorn? Fox West Texas Live at 6 starts now. Rehabbed and released, a bald eagle injured in West Texas soars back to its natural habitat. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Tim O'Brien. Now, Fox West Texas had an exclusive look at the release of a bald eagle named Lady Bird over the weekend. Our Adriana Alexander was there to witness our feathered friend's journey from the Abilene Zoo back into the wild.
Lady Bird, the bald eagle that was released back into the wild, soared back into the area where she was first found. But this couldn't have happened without the help of several people and, of course, this majestic, resilient bird. It all began when Jeff Carl saw the bird hobbling at a private ranch in Holt, Texas.
It tried to take off right in front of us as we were driving, couldn't get any lift, and tumbled into a little ravine there on the other side, and immediately stopped the car and went to investigate.
Carl then called the local game warden.
It could run really fast, it just couldn't fly, and it ended up down in a dry creek bottom, and so we kept on going after it and trying to corral it until we could finally get a hold of it.
When they did, they called the area's only wildlife rehabilitator to take the bird to the Abilene Zoo.
This bald eagle, which our Facebook fans named Lady Bird, had a broken right wing, and she also had a broken collarbone or a shoulder bone right here. She was also suffering some very high levels of lead.
The Abilene Zoo has seen a record-breaking 3 bald eagles this year and nursed 2 of them well enough to fly in the wild on their own. Not all wild animals have a happy ending to their story like Lady Bird. This is why everyone involved took pride in the release, and this moment became so monumental.
Seeing the national symbol of the United States, the bald eagle, Lady Bird, fly off was just beautiful. What a way to go. 2021. Now we're going into the year of 2020 Zoo, as I'm calling it. Let's see what we can bring to affect wildlife and conservation around the world.
Now, the big country to have a state-of-the-art adoption center coming their way. The city of Abilene announcing it has entered into an agreement with all kinds of animal initiatives to design a new adoption center to replace the existing Abilene Animal Center, bringing a better ability to compassionate care to big country animals. City officials excited to bring the new resources to the community. An architect presented drawings to the city council in early 2020. Updated designs and a site location are to be announced soon. All kinds of animal initiatives, a nonprofit organization seeking to improve animal welfare. Well, the Abilene Animal Services has made some pretty great strides on their own through spay and neuter programs and expanding foster and adoption programs as well. The proof is in the pudding. Here are some of the stats from Animal Services. In 5 years, euthanasia has gone down significantly for the shelter, as you can see here now. 1,814 to 148 cats and 1,520 dogs to just 223. To meet the criteria of an on-kill shelter, a facility has to have at least 90% live release rate, meaning only 10% of animals put down, no matter the circumstances. And Animal Services just nearly there this year. 85% of cats were saved, 91% of dogs, and as a whole, 88% of animals left the shelter alive. And local colleges are providing support and the necessary resources for those on path to U.S. citizenship. Howard College is offering a class that prepares individuals for their citizenship test. Now, the Path to Citizenship class is a 2-part series with each section lasting 8 weeks. Howard College's Larissa Elliott saying that the class touches base on important components.
We're increasing people's English skills as well, which is one of the tested areas on the citizenship test. And so we're looking at reading skills, writing skills, U.S. history, civics, government, economics, and we're not going into a lot of depth on each one of those things, but enough that people are able to have the confidence to approach their naturalization process knowing that they know all the pieces.
Now, the Pathway to Citizenship classes are free and funded through the Texas Workforce Commission. Howard College still accepting applicants to their Path of Citizenship classes. For more information, you can visit our site at foxwtx.com. Now, cities across several states working to clean up following a string of destructive and deadly tornado events.
Yes, Tim. One of the hardest hit areas is Kentucky, where several communities were leveled and dozens of lives lost. Governor Andy Bashar announced this morning that at least 64 people in the state are confirmed dead and believes more than 100 are accounted for, but reiterated that the numbers could change. One tornado stayed on the ground for hundreds of miles, while others were pop-up events. People on the ground hardly ready for the destruction they made in their wake.
When I felt like it was safe to open the door, I was like, my porch posts were gone. I looked up and I didn't have a roof or anything. I was like, I just kind of panicked. I was like, oh my God, what did we just go through?
Deaths and severe structural damage are also being reported in other states, including Illinois, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Missouri.
Now, the damage left behind is forcing many to search for food and shelter.
And as search and rescue look for the countless still missing, Madeline Rivera has more.
Kentucky, where debris marks the downtown landscape.
It took out the nucleus of the city is what it did. And that's what's really, really devastating.
Mina Blue Smith owned this outpatient mental health clinic. Now she's trying to save what she can.
We're so fortunate that our files and our charts have been salvaged and been taken somewhere else to preserve the confidentiality.
Many wondering how they move on as some recount harrowing stories of survival. Anthony Vasquez says he and his 4-month-old son took cover in a closet.
If he goes, I'm going with him, you know what I mean? Definitely was not going to let him go at all.
Search efforts are also continuing at a candle factory that was destroyed. At least 8 workers are dead. More than 90 workers have been found and several are still missing.
I probably haven't had the time to process. I know that we're all operating, my entire team, on very little sleep because there is so much to do.
Today, President Biden met with FEMA and Homeland Security officials. He says emergency teams will stay on the ground as long as they're needed.
This administration has made it clear to every governor, whatever they need, when they need it, make it known to me, and we'll get it to them as rapidly as we can.
President Biden says he will travel to Kentucky on Wednesday to see the devastation firsthand. In Mayfield, Kentucky, Madeline Rivera, Fox West, Texas.
Now, after the enormity of the devastation came to light, the federal government started asking neighboring states for help aiding the victims. Governor Greg Abbott approved the activation of Texas A&M Task Force 1. That's to help those in Kentucky. Well, personnel were mobilized almost immediately to aid with search and rescue of Kentuckians. And Texans are also getting their hands dirty and doing what we do best, helping those who are in need.
Adriana Del Alba has more on the resources headed to help neighboring states.
It is a substantial amount of devastation.
Red Jenkins is with Texas Baptist Men, a disaster relief organization in Dallas. They're gearing up to send help. The first trucks and volunteers will leave this week.
As the need increases for what we have and what we offer, we could be sending more throughout the week and weeks to come.
They're sending supplies and meals, helping people from recovery to rebuilding their lives. Over at World Vision's site in Grand Prairie, the nonprofit is ready. A truck filled with emergency supplies will head out first thing Monday morning. They're sending help to multiple states.
Usually the devastation is not as widespread, so this is a little different for us.
The path of destruction hits close to home for coordinator Roberta Taylor. She has family living in hard-hit Kentucky, where state leaders say the death toll could go beyond 100 people.
It was a blessing that my family was not affected. Of course, they felt the brunt of the winds, and they've gotten the rain and all of that, but some of them lost electricity.
Amid the devastation, there are helpers like Cooper Cowan, an Arkansas State University soccer player from Burleson, Texas.
I felt so bad and helpless because I was like, I don't know what to do.
So she and her friends showed up to a random family's home and helped them clean up the backyard of their home.
The most heartbreaking thing was probably seeing all the kids' toys spread out everywhere and the clothes from the nursing home just all in the road and up in the trees and on power lines.
FEMA and the American Red Cross say they're stepping in to help people recover. It could take weeks, even months.
Just keep us in your prayers.
Just devastating is the perfect word. It happened so quickly yes, there was warning, but when you're actually in it, I'm sure it's just...
Well, the biggest thing that caused all of these deaths and destruction, these were overnight storms. Yeah. So people were well into sleep. You know, we preach all the time, make sure you have a way to get those alerts when you go to bed at night, because things like this actually do happen. And then you can't see them. When you're farther out east and you have more moisture in the air, these tornadoes can be rain wrapped. So you can't even see because it's dark, but then it's rain wrapped. You really can't see it. Right. It's just a bad recipe.
And there's those videos circulating that you hear parents or siblings, whoever it may be, say, you know, move, get shelter, shelter, shelter. Because you're right, at nighttime you don't necessarily see it, and it happens so quickly, you've just got to react.
I do want to take the time to commend all of the meteorologists out there in these affected areas. Yeah. You guys have done a phenomenal job keeping your viewing areas updated and protected. Some of these meteorologists are actually classmates of mine that just graduated with me, helping trying to keep their community safe. And although there was a lot of damage and destruction, you can't really save everybody, unfortunately. That's the unfortunate truth. But, you know, things have been actually quiet here for us in West Texas. We had a cold weekend.
Yeah, we did.
A couple nights ago, we got down to 25 degrees here, but this is actually the sunset. Now that we're looking at those pretty colors, current temperatures between San Angelo and Abilene are actually really mild. 68 in San Angelo, 65 in Abilene, with those winds coming from the south. Dew points are a little higher than they were earlier, but still in that pleasant range. So it feels like what fall should feel like, funny enough, and we're getting close to the first day of winter. But I do want to talk about some rain chances coming up, because believe it or not, we have not seen a single drop of rain all month. So stay where you are. Later on in the show, I'll have a full forecast detailing what's coming this weekend.
Now, one little boy's empathy has led to years of impact.
The feeling that I get on Christmas morning of imagining the happiness on countless kids' faces, I can't even tell you how it feels. It's just like overwhelming.
A single act of kindness with enormous impact.